Let's go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How is everyone doing? What's up, Flux to Pose? BTC George, Brett O'Neill, what up? What's up, Connor? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Give a little bit of time for everyone to join up here. What's up, Logan, Randy, Amir, Henry? How y'all doing, guys? Yo. Okay. Cool. We got a bunch of people watching here. So hope everyone is having a good weekend here. Make sure you smash the like button. Hit the like button. Retweet the tweet where I'm streaming so your friends can see it. Hope everyone's doing good. I am very, very under the weather, so I apologize in advance. I was really contemplating not doing the stream at all because I feel like shit. But I knew I had to get on here and hit you guys with that Sunday night alpha because what would you do without it? You guys wouldn't be able to sleep. You wouldn't be prepared for the week. It would really be truly over. So had to buck up here and chug some cold medicine and chug a bunch of water and come on here for the lads. Luckily, I do not have COVID. So I started feeling sick a few days ago. Went and got tested, negative for COVID. So that's good news, obviously. Don't want the Rona. But still feel like shit, which sucks. So gonna do my best here to power through the stream. Get you guys some information out, see what's good for this coming week. And we'll just kind of go from there. So we'll stream right through the weekly close as usual. I'll probably keep this stream right around 1 hour. So we got about 50 minutes until the weekly close. Yeah, so we'll cover Bitcoin, we'll cover Ethereum, and then any questions you guys have, altcoin requests, we can leave that for the end. So this video, as usual, is sponsored by, or in partnership with, Bybit. So right now, Bybit wants me to talk about the Bit Time Rush. There's up to 8 million BIT tokens available to be won. Free BIT tokens, exclusive referral packs, and 100,000 BIT giveaway. So join Bybit as they celebrate the launch of BitDAO's BIT token on their platform. So they've got 3 exciting launch events. I've left the information for that in the description of the video. So if you're interested in potentially making some free money, you want to know more about BitDAO and the BIT tokens that they're launching with it, click the link in the description. So shout out to Bybit for partnering with me on these videos as we continue to pump these out every single week. Brett O'Neill, I will not shout you out. Feel free to leave the stream. I don't care. I don't know who you are. Why would I shout you out? So yeah, let's get on with it here. So we're gonna look at Bitcoin first, then we'll look at Ethereum. I'm gonna do my best to not cough all over the microphone or sneeze or blow my nose too often, but I am feeling quite sick, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, let's get into the business here. So we've had obviously our last stream. Let me just double check here. Our last live stream was 5 days ago on September 20th. So we look at the daily, we got 5 days ago. So our last stream was right here, the day of the dump, or the day that the dump started, right? So in the last live stream, or actually it was on the 19th, sorry. So it was the day before the dump. So in our last live stream, we just talked about some potential areas where this could bounce, and ultimately this being our secondary target if none of those areas held. So our last live stream, I'll just kind of go in reverse here. We'll see how good my memory is. Of course, my fib is fucked. What else do I need today? So this was our last live stream that we were watching here, right? We were watching this range. We ended up catching along on both Ethereum and Bitcoin from down here into the range high, right? So we had predicted this move, right? The low, some sort of retracement, and then potentially a lower high and another leg down. So in the last stream, we talked about that 60K fractal, right? How this price action was kind of mirroring this price action. I did the fractal overlay for you guys. I did a bunch of comparisons, and we talked about, okay, there's your short trigger, right? Your retrace from here to here. This is right into like the 50% fib, and then SFP and a dump. And Ethereum did the same thing. We ended up catching longs from here to here. Unfortunately, I did not short up here, but both Ethereum and Bitcoin gave kind of good short triggers actually on the underside of the range. So Ethereum gave a very clear short trigger on the underside of the range. We'll go over that when we cover Ethereum. But Bitcoin, we talked about this being a potential area of a bounce, right? This 12-hour order block. And what you can see is it actually became a breaker block. So initially, this would be a bullish order block. The first attempt here, I said, I want to see bullishness on the 1 hour to step in, right? That's what I wanted to see. So if you go watch even just the condensed stream from last week, we talked about this 12-hour block saying, okay, we've broken above the range. First, we were consolidating here, but I said if we break into the range here, I want to see this area hold, and I want to see bullishness. The EQ confluent with this 12-hour block, I want to see bullishness form. We did not get that. But what did happen is when the block got nuked through, this underside test is actually a sell with your stop here. So you actually could have shorted this underside test and you could still be holding it right now for a potential another leg lower if that's what we're going to get. Or maybe you would have closed it here. I don't know. Even from here to here with a stop there is a 2R. I'm pretty sure if I'm just eyeballing it. Yeah, 2.5R. Okay, so the way that these order blocks work is very much, or the way that I use them at least, is very much similar to SR. The concept in ICT terminology is a breaker block, right? So it's kind of in supply and demand speak, it would be like ignored demand or ignored supply. So when you have price trending and you have a demand zone here, right? And so here, for example, let me just draw this better. I did it again. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have our demand, right? Price trends. Then we have our other demand here, right? So in supply and demand speak, or ICT speak, right, these are bullish order blocks or demand zones, right? So when price trades back and it's in an uptrend, when it trades back into a demand zone, your first expectation is that that is going to give you the reaction you want for continuation of the trend, right? Demand is going to lead to buying, which is going to lead to, another leg up. However, there's a concept that ICT uses called breakers. Some people call it ignored supply or demand. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. It's effectively like an SR flip. So if you see a demand zone here like this, if it gets nuked through, you can actually sell the underside. And then this becomes a reversal setup, right? With your short there, stop here, right? Boom. And that's exactly what you see here. So just like support and resistance, right? So if we're trending here and this is support, right? And then it does this, the under test is a sell, right? Support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support, blah, blah, blah. You can do the same shit with these order blocks here. So when this 12-hour block got nuked, you actually can use the underside as a sell. Stop there, right? Maybe target was here, I don't know. But it works like SR, at least how I do it. So that is something that you guys can pay attention to, right? So if you see order blocks get nuked, realize that they can work like SR. Here's another perfect example, right? Initial bounce, nuked. Look at the underside, rejection, right? So you can use these order blocks like SR as well, where we're in an uptrend, right? You want to buy the bullish order block, but if the order block gets nuked, you can actually sell the bearish retest. There's a little tidbit of alpha for you. But anyways, we were looking for this to hold. It didn't. And then I basically was looking for shorts into 40K and about 2,800 on Ethereum. So obviously I only do these streams once a week. So I was posting in Discord and on Twitter, right? I said, if this doesn't, and we talked about the scenario. I said, if this doesn't hold, right, we're looking to short in a 40, right? And same with Ethereum. I said, if that retest doesn't hold, we're looking to short in a 27.28. So both of those targets came through. And so if you're looking at where we're at now, another thing I posted on Twitter, right, was this. Once we started looking shitty here, I posted this. This was right after the stream when we were trading right up here. I said, how about we come down to this 3-day block, which we've talked about in previous streams, and then see our next leg up for the macro, right? So that's kind of what we're banking on right now, is we're hoping that this is a low, right, break in market structure, and this is a higher high. That is the bull thesis. That's what I see as the bull thesis right now. Without, obviously if we come down and then we fucking go up, that could be considered bullish. But I just mean from where we are right now, not to trade any lower, this 3-day order block and this effectively kind of like SR level, right? Resistance, resistance, support, support. This is where we want to see the higher low form, I think, if we're super bullish going into Q4, right? We've got October, November, December. There's only 3 months effectively. We've got 4 or 5 days left in September. There's only 3 months left in 2021. I don't know about you guys, but time stopped working normally during COVID for me. Like my mind and just like what time is has completely been fucked. It's been fucked up, and the fact that in 3 months it's 2022 is tripping me the fuck out. I don't know about you guys, but what that means is we have Q4 coming up. Historically, Bitcoin has generally been red in September. We've got some fundamental catalysts coming up, right, in Q4, potentially for Bitcoin. There's going to be rulings on several Bitcoin ETFs. Are those going to go through? Are they not going to go through? We've got Gary Gensler, putting up some pretty, kind of potentially can come out with some pretty bearish fundamental, news for crypto by maybe going after Coinbase or going after, another exchange or something like that, or just, announcing, more strict regulations in the US. We just had China ban Bitcoin for the, bazillionth time. So there's a lot of, stuff happening right now. What I would like to see is hopefully this week, nothing, bearish fundamentally coming out for Bitcoin, us holding this 3-day area, and then continuing to put in some bullish price action, having a bullish Q4. That's my ideal situation. So I posted this chart on Twitter when we were here. I said down here and then up. I didn't mean to draw that low. Right? We've come down. We've had a nice bounce off the area, but now I want to see this area hold. I don't really want to see Bitcoin start trading below this block, because if we trade below this block, I have a feeling we probably trade below this low. If we trade below this block, or at least to this low, I don't know if we'll go below it, but definitely at least to it. So I don't really want to see that happen. So I'd like to see us hold here for a higher low. This being our low, our higher high relative to here, and then of course, my fib's fucked. Why not, right? Why not? It's a nice 50% EQ tap, confluent with the 3-day block. So if this is going to be a higher low, this is a good place to put it, right? This is kind of our point of break of this last breakout. It occurred here. This is that high time frame order block. So there's a lot of confluence here in terms of why this could be a strong area of support, and hopefully we'll see a follow through with this week's price action to confirm that this is indeed at least a medium term low, and we're not gonna nuke down. Like, could we go up like this, right, and then up? Like, we don't have to just do a straight arrow, right? We could come up to here, get a little bit of a pullback, right, then break up higher, a little bit of a pullback, right, and then fucking go. But still, we've got some work to do for the bulls, right? The bulls have some work to do, because right now, just looking at this, this is a clear lower high, on the high time frame. Now, that looks like this was your high, this was your low, right? We talked about this for months. I was calling this out in June. I said, if we're going to get a lower high from this dump, it's going to happen in this area. And we came right into the 6.2, and boom. So bulls got some work to do. I really want to see us trade above the 7.9 if we're going to go to 100K or something like that, or 80K or 90K. We got to get above 57. That's a long way away. So the first step is this becoming a higher low, right? And then we got to crack this high here. So we'll see. Still too early to tell. So macro thoughts are there, right? We expected this pullback into here. Hopefully you guys loaded up on some Bitcoin. I got a couple of bids filled here on spot. I closed my leverage longs the other day already once we kind of had that pretty harsh rejection. But I got some spot bids filled here around 40, and I'm hoping that we trade at least up into here, and then we'll see, right? So again, all I'm doing now is this is a downtrend. Remember, so sorry, I'll just talk macro here for one more second, right? Higher low, we're hoping this holds 50 key SR. 3-day order block. There's your confluence. There's the initial reaction we want to see. I want to see this hold, and I eventually want to see him move higher. And I'll draw a little moon here. To the moon. Okay? So that's kind of my macro thoughts for now. Ultimately, if we lose this 3-day order block, I have a feeling we trade down to here. So if we lose this, down to here, which I don't really want to see. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense on the macro. Again, my brain is operating at like sub fucking 50% capacity right now. I feel like I'm fucking out of my mind. Okay? So looking in at a little bit more intraday. So we talked about this short here in the last stream as well, right? So when we had this initial dump, right, we talked about this fractal, right? From here to here, there's your pullback, right? Which is a fractal of this move here, right? Here to here, there's your pullback, SFP, bada bing, bada boom, absolute nukage. Same thing here, right? So we talked about, hey, you have to realize as much as this move was nice, we've now shifted market structure on the H12 to the downside. Right? When we broke this low, market structure on the 12 hours shifted bearish. So the next pump was one that we would look to have a lower high and look to short. And so we got that SFP here, right? Right at the 50, I think. Yeah, right above the 50. SFP, there's your dump. Okay. So market structure here on the 12 hour is bearish, and it remains bearish. However, we're coming into that 3-day area of support, right? So we made another lower low and a lower high on the H12. So now if we're looking at the H12, the range that we're trading in is here to here. Okay, so this is your 12-hour range. And it's a bearish range. And so what we're looking for now is potential rejection, right? And then we could maybe trade lower into here. And then we could go up. I don't know. It's still too early to tell. But this order block here on a first test, I'm looking for weakness because the market structure on the H12 is bearish. So I want to see price effectively come up here. And then if it shows me weakness, right, I want to get short back into here. Okay? Because the range on the H12 is bearish. Just like this range was bearish, we came up, sold out. This range is bearish. So if we come up and sold off, right, it's going to be just continuation of the trend. So that's what I'm watching for on the bear side, is a move up into here, maybe a run above this high, and then a short back into the lows here. That would be the bearish setup I'm watching for this week. Okay, a retracement into the order block that caused the break in market structure, and then a sell back down. All right, the bullish setup for me is gonna have to be, sorry, I'll go one more layer lower here. Sorry guys. Looking at the hourly, we've also got this right here. So this is a fractal of what I just showed you on the H12, right? Here's your hourly range, bearish. Here's your pullback, and it came just shy of the order block, but it put in a nice SFP here, right? So, I mean, this could do this right now. Your stop up there. You could take that if you wanted. I'm not personally interested. I'd rather see if it comes up into here. Okay. So the bullish trigger here, which would be counter trend, right? Counter trend, bullish trigger would be a reclaim of the EQ. Okay, would be a long into the range high. So if we're able to get above the EQ here, because we are seeing absorption here, right? If I just take off everything, we are seeing some signs of absorption, right? We have our long lower wicks here. That's a big lower wick. Another nice little wick. Another nice couple wicks. Long lower wick. So this is looking like it might want to be a little swing low, right? So if that's the case, we could get a long trigger this week. And for me, that would be a reclaim of this. Okay? A reclaim of the EQ, which is at about 44,250 approximately. I would look to long that into about 48 to 49K. And then again, if we get weakness here, I'm getting out of longs and I'm looking to short. If we reclaim the range high, I'm adding back to long. So if I took off 1/3 of my long here, and then we did this, I'm adding back that size. Okay? Or if I'm not long at all, if we get above here, I'm longing it. Okay? Because if we get above here, I'm pretty sure we at least go for that high and then, you know, significantly higher. So we're in a support now. I'm not interested in shorting right here personally, because this is a high time frame area that I want to see a bounce form in. Could that little short play out on the 1 hour? Absolutely. Right? We could do this and then fuck around and then go up. I don't know. But I'm not personally interested in taking a trade here. This is very 2018-esque price action, right? This is kind of like your BART, right? There's your BART one way and then fucking BART the other way. So I don't like trading this PA that much. I find it fucking a little bit sticky. It's also Sunday. I feel like shit. So I'm not interested in taking a trade here today, I don't think. But reclaim here, I'm looking to long it to here. Okay? And then up in this area, which is that 12-hour order block, if we see any sort of weakness, something like this, right? Something like this, that would be a short trigger for me to sell this thing back down. Okay? So hopefully that's pretty clear on Bitcoin, but we are into that 3-day area of demand. So if we're bullish, this is where we want to see it hold. This is where we really want to see it hold, right? I want to see it hold here, and I want to see it push up. We'll definitely come in here, and then maybe we get some resistance here and a pullback, but this is definitely the area that we want this higher low to form. It just has a ton of confluence in terms of TA, and then the timing going into October with all the fundamental news and all that shit, the China ban, shakeout, whatever you want to fucking call it. If it lines up and this becomes that higher low and a bunch of people just sold into the bottom right before all this bullish shit comes out fundamentally, this is a very good technical place for the low to be, okay? So hopefully this makes sense, guys. If you have any questions, hit me in the chat right now, because I've given you, I think, a pretty clear look at Bitcoin for this week in terms of long and short ops. Hopefully that makes sense. But right now, waiting. No trade for me currently. Get above here. I'll take a long into here. Get above here. We go way higher. When we come up to here, I will look for weakness to short if it comes. Okay? But yeah, I'm not in a trade currently right here. Any questions about Bitcoin, guys, before I move on to Ethereum? Bro, have you heard of Toke? Could you please chart this beast? No rush. Never heard of it. Please save your chart request for the end, guys. Looks like a big potential W bottom forming, double bottom. Can you please give insights on BTC? Have you been watching the fucking stream, bro? What the fuck do you think I've been doing? Sold my gecko for 5.5. Now I'm crying. Mayne sick. Yes, I'm very sick. I do not have COVID though. What do you think about stocks? How's it looking? BTC would nuke if S&P makes a lower high. Listen, I mean, I'm not in the business of trying to call the top on the fucking stock market, because it just continues to fucking send like relentlessly. Like, does this need a correction? Yeah. But like, what if this is the correction? Like, what if it's just like this, right? And then you get like this, and then it just continues. Like, this chart goes up and to the right. That's what it's designed to do. This chart is not going to do this. Like, I think people are nuts. I don't know, unless America fucking collapses as a country, this chart is not going to fucking complete a market cycle and then accumulate and then go again. This chart is designed to go up and to the right. It's just about, you know, being able to handle the periods of volatility as it continues to to charge up and to the right, because that's what this chart is designed to do. I'm not really interested in trying to call the low or the high or whatever on the S&P. I've tried and failed so much. What I see here on the weekly chart is we got a big swing failure pattern here. I would not be surprised at all if this makes a new all-time high in October. That wouldn't surprise me one fucking bit. And this thing just continues to fucking chad. It's like, I don't even know how to analyze this. Like, maybe you draw like a fucking big wedge, and it's just gonna channel up to infinity. I don't fucking know. It will eventually see a correction, right? Will it be as big as the COVID correction? Will it be, something like the 2008 correction? I have no idea. I'm not interested in trying to call it, because every time people have said it's done, right? Oh, the stock market's dumping, it's dumping, it's dumping, it's dumping, it's dumping, it's over, it's over. It just keeps going higher. So if I gun to my head, and this would be what's most bullish for Bitcoin as well, obviously, is that we just see this fucking make another new high in October. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I'm not interested in trying to play the game of calling the top on stocks. Looking at this like intraday, the one difference here per se is, we've had higher highs and higher lows here consistently. you could argue this is a lower low, right? So first lower low in a while. So that, I guess, would be the bearish argument, right? Is you have a lower low here on the daily, and now we're bearish retest this level. So stocks open, right, tomorrow, I would watch this area. If we flip this daily bearish order block and it becomes a breaker block, right? Just like I talked about at the start, the ignored supply and demand breakers, that's exactly what this would be. So if this does this, I think you're risk on hella on stocks for a new all-time high, and that would be confluent probably with Bitcoin going up further as well. If this rejects here and makes a lower low, then yeah, we could potentially see the scenario where Bitcoin, you know, rolls over and makes a lower low relative to here. You got to remember that 3-day block is big, right? The 3-day block is big, so it can come in deeper before going up. The 3-day block goes all the way down to 37.5, right? So we could dump from here, or we could push up and then come down, make another low, right? And then get our move out. Doesn't have to go up from here, but ultimately this is where I want to see the higher low play, and that SFP on the weekly on the S&P, right? This SFP right here into this daily bearish block, right? If this becomes just a breaker, that would be pretty confluent with Bitcoin just chatting in Q4. So we'll see. We will see. What is COVID? Come on, dog. But really, doesn't the 12-hour look like a lower high? If it does a higher high, wouldn't that be a shift in trend? I don't know if I fully understand your question. But yeah, if the 12-hour makes a higher high above here, it's a shift in trend. You could argue that if it makes a higher high above here, it's a shift in trend, but this high did not create a new low. So this is the high of interest to me because this one created the new low. So the lower high, right, to shift the trend bullish again, this is the high that has to flip for me. Can we compare 2018 charts to now? I don't know why you'd want to do that. My IQ test just came back negative, thank God. I'm glad to hear, bro. It's a lower high till 49K, exactly. If you put daily res line at 43,750, that is a 4-hour SFP into daily res. Close the hour like this, okay? Cool story. Nice pasta. Sorry, I meant range, meant high or low. I'm tired. Okay. Save your alt request for the end, guys. Rectember, October. There you go. What coins are you expecting fundamental bullish news on in October? I'm not expecting bullish news on any coin specifically. I'm talking about Bitcoin, where there's several ETFs being announced that could potentially get approved in October. Where did you learn TA? All sorts of places. Your mom's house. I take that back. That was rude. I'm not even funny today. I'm so fucking dead. Yes, thank you. Very good explanation with Gucci. Okay, glad to hear. I'm long F from 27.25, but scared to hold through this chop. Well, why are you scared, bro? Why are you scared? Don't be scared. Don't be a bitch. Right? If you're scared, go to church. No, if you have a plan, right, why are you scared? Right? So you longed 27.25, which is a great entry. Why are you scared? Right? Where was your entry? Where's your idea wrong? And where was your target? If it hit your entry and it hasn't stopped you out, you're obviously in profit a bunch now. Why are you scared? Right? If you have a plan, you already know what the worst case scenario is going into it, right? So whenever I enter a trade, we're about to drop some knowledge on y'all. Whenever I go into a trade, when I first started trading, right, I would always say, okay, how much money will I make if this goes here, right? You buy one Bitcoin at 5K and you go, okay, if Bitcoin goes to 10K, I double my money. Right? That's how everyone is wired initially. Your reward first, right? You always think of the reward. How much money will I make if this happens? I want you to challenge the way that you think and think risk first. This is such a better approach to trading because then it helps remove that emotion, right? Reward is tied to, making money, which is tied to greed, which can lead to FOMO, which can lead to da 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 da. Losing money, you're scared, blah, blah, blah. So if you go into the trade thinking risk first, right? You already know the worst case scenario. So if I'm buying Bitcoin at 5K, let's say my target is 10 to double my money. I say, I know though, or my target is 20, let's say, whatever, and I make 15 grand. I know that if I go into that trade saying, okay, if it goes to 20, I make 15 grand, right? All I'm going to be thinking about is the reward, and that's the wrong state of mind to be going into that trade. I want to know what is the worst case scenario. That way, when I buy it at 5, if it goes down to 3, I'm not freaking out. And if it goes up to 10, I'm not cashing out early. Because I know, okay, worst case scenario, if this trade goes wrong, I lose $5,000. Okay, what's there to be scared of? I already know the worst outcome, right? If you go into a trade just thinking of the reward, if it doesn't go your way, right, you're going to be mentally fucked. Or if it starts going your way, you start getting nervous. Maybe you want to lock in some money. If you go in thinking, what is the worst case scenario? If I get stopped out, I lose X number of dollars. You got nothing to be scared of. You already know if Bitcoin goes from 5,000 to 0, you've lost 5 grand. That's it. You're out for 5 grand, right? And if it ends up working out, yeah, you made 15, right? But you knew the worst case scenario going into it. So for you, you know where your entry is. You know where your stop is. Yeah, it's choppy right now, but where was your target? Where's your stop? And if it's not at your stop, why are you worried? Just chill. Like, yeah, are you going to round trip some of it? Okay, maybe take some off, right? If you're really scared, take a little bit off. Move your stop up. Do some of that stuff if you want. Manage your trade. But personally, when I was early on learning, I tried to fuck with my trade as little as possible. I entered here. Let's say your target on that F long is 3,200. You shouldn't be worried until it gets there, right? Just chill. Everything's going according to plan until you either hit TP or stop out. So start thinking of that way, and it might help you manage some of those emotions a little bit, right? Is think risk first. Whenever I enter a trade, I always go, how much money am I going to lose if this is wrong? Now I got no fear. And if that amount of money that I'm going to lose is more than I want to lose, I'm risking too much. If I go, okay, I get stopped out here, I lose 20 grand. If I don't want to lose 20 grand on this trade, I'm risking too much, right? So dial back that risk, right? So that's a good little mental trick. How many beanies do you got, bro? A lot. I live in Canada. How likely we get to the August lows? I have no idea. At what price would you think the bull run is over? I don't know, $0? I have no idea, bro. I mean, the bull run, the bull run arguably could already be over, right? But the problem with that type of logic is, let's say you say, okay, if we go below here, the bull run is over. Well, it's like, okay, well, we already went from 60 to 30, and now you're saying the bull run is over? It's 50% down off the high already, right? The problem with that confirmation bias is technically when was the bull run over here? Was it over here? Or was it over when we broke this low? Because when we broke the 6K floor finally, and people realized, oh, this is making just lower lows and lower highs, we only went down another 50% before we bottomed. Right? So it's kind of a silly question. When is the bull run over? Who fucking knows, and who really fucking cares? Just have a plan and trade shit level to level, and understand that, if we lose, this area, there's a chance that we see, a 20% decline in price. Are you ready to hold through that? If we lose this area, we might see another, 30% decline in price. Are you ready to hold through that, or do you have a plan? Right? If you bought spot here, and then we break down here, are you going to hold that spot all the way down? That's up to you. So it's not about like when is the bull run over or not, because realistically, every time we've had a big drop like this, generally it's been the end of a bull run. And maybe we go up like this, but to me, this move isn't even confirmed to go to all-time high again until it's like above like 57. It's like, well, that's only a few $1,000s below all-time highs. So that's the problem with that type of like absolutist speaking. Right? So I'm much more interested in just trading level to level. As long as we're holding here, I think we go to here. Right? If we break above here, I think we go to here. And then if we break above here, I think we make a new all-time high. Does that mean the bull run is back on? Well, then you missed from here to here. Whereas I've been, long from here to here, from here to here, right? From here to here, and then short from here to here. So did I catch the entire move? No, but I've caught most of it, and I've, bought and sold along the way. So that's just how I operate, much more of like a trader perspective as opposed to just a hodler. But yeah, you tell me, when did the bull run end in 2018? Right? Because you already know the bull run was technically over right here. This was the end of the bull run. But when did it confirm in the chart? That's a objective question, or very subjective question, excuse me. Some people might say here, right? Well, when it made that lower low, that was it. Some people might say, okay, well, when it broke the 6K floor, that was the end. But if you tell me the bull run ended here, it's like, well, that means you got bearish right into the fucking bottom before a new bull run started, right? So that's up to you. Whatever time frame makes the most sense to you to watch, you get to decide, when the bull run ended. I mean, if you're looking at this on the monthly, a lot of people might say the bull run's already over, right? You don't often see this kind of shit on the monthly and it end very well. The ETH chart looks even worse. So, and when is this confirmed back into a bull run? When it breaks through all-time high again? Like, did this bull run not start until we broke through 20K, or did it start earlier? Right? I don't fucking know. So that's a hard question to answer, is what I'm saying, in 1,000 fucking words, because I'm not concise in the slightest. Is this guy still sending you feet pics? No one has sent me feet pics, thank God. It would be great if you could please teach us how to find our own setups. That's exactly what I do in all of these streams, bro. Obviously, you haven't been paying attention. I've uploaded so many videos. My order block video shows you exactly how to find setups. I go over how to find setups in all of these streams. So go watch some of them. Mayne, you got COVID. No, I don't have COVID, guys. Don't do it. How likely do we get the August? So stupid question. Like, how likely are we to go to all-time high from here? How do you even assign a probability to that, right? So I have no idea how likely it is that we go to the August lows. All I know is if we break, it's if and then, right? If, then. That's trading. If this happens, then I'll do this. If that happens, then I'll do that. So if we lose this level, then I will look for us to trade to the August lows. The probability of that happening, though, I have no fucking clue. Are there any other ways to catch top or bottom of the swings other than SFPs? Yeah, low time frame shifts in market structure, right? When the bottom formed here in that 3-day order block, right? Yeah, there was an SFP here. But you got to zoom in, right? We came into the 3-day block. We made a lower low, right? But then what happened? Low, high, higher low, higher high. The trend shifts on the low time frame first, right? So if you really want to be getting in on bottom ticks and shit, once we get into that high time frame area of interest, zoom the fuck in and see, right? I don't know how you bottom tick this. I mean, fuck, it hit my level almost clean as fuck. Or no, sorry, that's not my level. But we came into that 3-day order block. The only way I would have entered this thing is probably once we reclaimed this. Right? Once we got above there, started putting in bullish market structure, I would have been interested in getting long if I was like sitting and watching this live. Right? Because this is the breaker that caused the low. So once we got above there, but again, like to get in there, just bottom tick, you would have had to have like resting orders there. I don't know how else you get in there. Like live, right? You don't just enter this live unless you got a level there. For me, it would have been here. This pullback, right? This pullback here. Right into there. Reclaiming this. That would have been my entry zone. Stop here. Right? In the context, why am I able to go to the 1 minute and rip a bullish setup like this? Is because we're in that 3-day area of support, right? Okay. If BTC isn't on your books, you're the reason for all your own suffering. Okay. Mama raised a soldier, not a bitch. Yes, sir. As a magic / poker player, this makes a lot of sense. Always plan for the worst case scenario. This is so true for life, right? Like if you go into any sort of encounter or situation expecting, you know, the best from someone, right? You're going to be disappointed a lot, right? That's something you'll learn in life. Like if you're like a very like giving person and you're always going above and beyond for your friends, if you go into other relationships and other interactions expecting people to match your energy, more often than not, you're going to be disappointed, right? That's why the cliche is, you know, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right? You want to be, if you go into situations expecting the least out of people, it's way better to get surprised when someone goes above and beyond instead of expecting the most and then, you know, getting disappointed all the fucking time. So same goes for trading. If one does not have a plan, one is essentially gambling. Exactly. Please explain the ETFs, bro. Look them up on Google, dude. If BTC is doing a triple bottom on the 8s4, does that make you feel more confident in your outlook in the chop? Yeah, I mean, this could be kind of like a triple bottom type of scenario, right? This is just ugly price action right here. So I'm going to wait until price gets to a level that I want to do business at, right? Which is either here or here. So we kind of came up into that level just barely, but, you know, potential longs here or potential shorts here. And then, of course, above here, potential longs, right? So if this, then that, right? If we come up to here and show weakness, like a big SFP or some sort of over under, then I will short. If we come down to here, I will look for a long. If we reclaim the mid-range, I will then look for a long, whatever. If we come up to here and show weakness, I'll look for a short. If this, then that. That's why people always are like, oh, up or down. It's like, that's how trading works. If we do this, then I do that. The key is having a plan for each situation and then being able to execute when it actually happens. When you have levels of interest, you set orders there. If it keeps nuking through your level, how do you manage your stop loss? You get stopped by a wick. If you have a level of interest where you're interested in bidding, right, you also need to have a level where that idea is wrong. Like let's say you wanted to bid this 3-day order block here, right? So you just layered bids in the 3-day order block. Well, you still got to have a stop below the order block, right? So if it fills you, and then stops you out and then goes up, you got fucking stopped. Maybe if it starts bouncing after it stops you out, you can get back in on the low time frame, get back in on a pullback. But sometimes you get stopped by a wick. That happens, right? Sometimes you have a plan, it hits your level, you get filled, and then it just goes a little bit lower, stops you out, and then it launches. That's part of the game, man. It happens. Right? So you could either sit out and wait for the next trade, or maybe you say, hey, my idea was right. You know, my stop was in the wrong place, or I just got stopped. Sometimes that happens. Then look to get back in, right? But if I'm saying, hey, I'm bidding here, I still have to have an idea where that idea is wrong. If I'm bidding here and it just keeps dropping, am I just going to keep holding that long all the way down as fucking here? No, of course not. Where's that idea wrong? Where is your stop? Right? So if I was playing this on the 3-day, right, you're just layering orders within this 3-day order block with your stop there. Let my ass off. You're actually the best, bro. Thanks, Josh. Or Joe's. Mayne, some traders using Monday highs and lows. What's up with Monday and why not a different day? That's a good question. So you can use any day. You could use Tuesday's range, Wednesday's range, Thursday's range, right? At the end of the day, all you're using are a high time frame level, right? You could use this candle as a range. This 3-day candle, right, could be your range. You can do anything you want, right? The world is your fucking oyster. You are the master of your own universe. any high time frame candle, the high and low of that candle, or the open and close could be used as a range to just frame price. The reason a lot of people use Monday's range specifically, it's because it's the first trading day of the week, right? So if the first trading day of the week sets a range, you can generally use that pretty well to analyze price for the following week, right? Let's go look at, can we go back in time here? Wait, I knew that was gonna happen. I lost all my levels. Regardless, right? What if I just want to see Monday on here? There we go. Oh, come on, fuck off. Monday's low. Monday's range is all I want. So this is the first trading day of the week, right? Equities are open, the general markets are open. So generally, if we're gonna have, you can use Monday's range to determine what might happen for the rest of the week, right? This is fucking annoying me. Erg. I hate losing my fucking levels. So that's why people use Monday's range specifically. You can use any range you want. You can pull your own range. You can use a 3-day candle. You can use a fucking weekly candle in the highs and lows. But Monday's range specifically, it's the first trading day of the week. That's why people like to use it. And let's say we make our high here and our low here on Monday. Well, oftentimes the higher the low of the week is set on Tuesday or Wednesday. So if we're trading up near here on Tuesday or Wednesday and then start trading back below the mid-range on Monday, you can probably assume that that was the high of the week. We're gonna now trade into the low, right? So there's a bunch of different tips and tricks that you can use in terms of shit like that. Again, it's just a range though. The fact that it's Monday and the first trading day of the week is relevant for the reasons I just explained, but if we're trading here, right, we're here and then we flip the mid-range of Monday's range, you can target Monday's high, right? Maybe this happens on a Thursday, who fucking knows? But that's why people use Monday's range. I don't like losing my levels. What is your risk ratio? I don't understand the question. So you don't have any BTC on spot. I absolutely have BTC on spot. He has Divock. I don't know what that means. I love how dumb some of these questions are. There's no such thing as dumb questions, just dumb people. I'm just kidding. I love when you speak, shiver me timbers. Okay. The neck keeps you protected from COVID. Yes, the neck is way too thick for COVID to fucking infiltrate. All right, we're going to get into Ethereum here, guys. I think I've been doing enough of the fucking chat, and the chat just gets fucking insane. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. So, Ethereum from the macro looks way, way uglier than anything, right? Like this looks like a very, very, kind of ugly double top complacency shoulder. Like the monthly looks hideous. So we simply won't look at it because it looks so bad. But I'm still bullish on Ethereum, assuming that we can kind of hold, the area that we are in now. Similar to Bitcoin, I want to see us hold this zone on ETH. So on Ethereum, I don't know why my range is all funky there. On Ethereum, we had a very similar move, right? Where we formed our dump, we had a range, we pulled back, and then we sold off again. So it's almost identical to Bitcoin in terms of like the PA of the dump. I think it might have tagged the 0.62. It did. Right, so there was your break in market structure, pull back right into the 0.62, nuke it, right? It was pretty clean. It didn't come as high as we wanted. So what I was looking for on ETH was for this gap to get filled, which it did, right? But I was hoping, just like on Bitcoin, that it'd come a little higher, like up into here, for us to short. So I didn't manage to get a short in on Ethereum up there. However, I did short Ethereum on the underside of this. And I posted a clip of the stream where we talked about this last week, right? Where Ethereum last week, Bitcoin was trading up here in its range. Ethereum was trading all the way down here already. But we were into the range lows, and I said, okay, into the range lows, I don't want to short, but if we lose the range low, I'm targeting here, and you could sell a move on a retest of the range low into 27,2800. So even if you miss this, it gave you a perfect pullback and then a sell right into that 27,2800 area. So I posted that setup in last week's stream. We talked about this exact setup playing out, and then you can see here, it played out. I posted the clip, and I collected my clout points, and yeah. So Ethereum arguably looks shittier than Bitcoin. It is outperforming on the day, or it did yesterday, because FBTC had a little bit of a bump, but not much. But Ethereum, I want to see get back in the range if it's going to continue, right? So we have a pretty nice low here. If it can reclaim 3150, I think you can long it up to about 3400. So that would be the intraday setup that I'm looking for on Ethereum. Reclaim 3150. I think we can long it in a 3400. And that's a decent move from here to here, right? 7%. That's a nice little move there that we could capture. So that's what I'm watching for on Ethereum, because I personally didn't long here. I shorted this, have not longed it. Like I said, I've been sick, so haven't been trading much the last couple of days. But that would be what I'm watching for on Ethereum. If we can get above here, long it up into here. Okay? Alternatively, if we lose this area where this low formed, right? Similar to Bitcoin, you know, on Ethereum, we don't really want to see it go much lower than it has, right? We have this kind of previous range high here, just like on Bitcoin. I don't really want to see it get below here. Can it go a little lower? Sure. The lowest I would want to see this thing go before going up is like here. So maybe Bitcoin gets one more stab down to 37K, which is still within that 3-day order block. Maybe Ethereum makes one more move lower into here. But ultimately, I want either this or, like, you know, as low as here, right? So this would be that, you know, bearish order block here. We nuke through it. So if we come back to this, it could become support, right? I'd want it go no lower than this, though. Right into the 6.2. So 24 to 2600. It's about as low as I'd want to see Ethereum go before going higher, if it is indeed going to go higher at all. Okay? I do think a retest of 3400, right, which is this bearish order block here, is very likely. Even if we are going to go down further, I think we'd do that rather than just turn over from right here. We could, but I would like to see potentially a move up to here, 3,400, and then if it's going to move down, sure, and then boom. Or obviously, if this is the low, right, get up to 3,400, pull back, put in a higher low, then this is where we get giga bullish for, like, you know, 5,000. Okay, so looking at the intraday, we came into that 12-hour order block. We're putting in some decent PA here. This is our FTA right here, confluent with the range low. So if this is going to dump, it's going to happen from right here. So what does that mean? That means if we reclaim this, I think it's an easy long till at least 3,400 and then potentially even into the range high. The market structure on the H12 is bearish, right? So this is our 12-hour range, right? So this is a bearish range. So the anticipation is a move up here would be for a lower high, right? But that doesn't mean we can't take a counter trend long, at least into here. And then this would be an area here, I think, where you would look to short Ethereum. If we got up here, I think you'd look for shorts in here, if given. Back into here. And then maybe that gives us our move lower, or maybe, you know, it gives us a higher low. And then we go up. Get above this high here. right? 35.70 effectively. I think we'll see, you know, above 4K again and potentially beyond. But yes, yet to be seen on Ethereum. No trade for me where we are right now. I want to see how we look, you know, coming into tomorrow. Are we able to reclaim this range low? If so, I'm interested in taking along into about 3,400, which lines up with that 3-day level that I had marked out, right? 3,400 is effectively right here. So that would be your pullback on this leg. But market structure is ugly on the higher time frames. It all depends on how you look at it, right? Like if you want to see this as, you know, a daily break in market structure, it is, right? So the next bounce is a sell. Or you can look at it kind of like this, right? Where we have a low, a high, and then this is just a big higher low that we're forming here, right? We're going to make a higher high. That's the ideal scenario, right? Just like on Bitcoin where I have the 3-day block that we just tagged and then up. Same idea here. This is our higher low zone. Let's fucking moon it, mate. So hopefully stocks are bullish on the open tomorrow and Bitcoin and Ethereum move up. Intermediate targets on the upside on Ethereum, 3,400, assuming it can reclaim 3,150. I'd expect 3,400. And on Bitcoin here, I want to see us get above this. Okay, so if we're able to get above 45,160, okay, then I would look for Bitcoin to trade up into 47.60. Okay, so those are kind of the key levels that I'm watching on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Both coming up into potential areas of resistance, right? Resistance here. So if you're looking to short, look for short triggers where we are right now, right? You've got one here on Bitcoin. This is, remember at the very start of the stream, I drew this out, right? I said short the retest here with your stop here, target down here. So technically you could short Bitcoin right now. You could short Bitcoin right now like this. SFP right into our 12-hour bearish order block, right? Ethereum, same thing. SFP right into our bearish 12-hour order block. So we'll see. But that would be, this is resistance on both Ethereum and Bitcoin that we're into right now. The week just started, so personally I'm not interested in taking either of these trades, but I'm showing them to you guys because they are valid. Reclaim here, target here. Okay? Same thing for Bitcoin. Get above here, target here. But yeah, this short, valid. Same with fucking ETH. But I'm not taking it. I feel like shit. I'm gonna go bathe myself in fucking Vicks Vapo Rub. Stock futures are looking good. That's good news. I don't think this, yeah, this is live. Is it? It's live? Is this fucking live? Yeah, right? So stonks, we want to see this, right? For new all-time high on stonks. That would be the ideal scenario. My screen's hella grainy. It's because it's getting dark out. Hold on. Hold on. Am I your dad? You wish. Ah. That should help. There we go. Oh, I look handsome now. Ugh, I feel like shit. All right. Would you box BitBoy for charity? Abso-fucking-lutely. Thanks, Mayne. I suck at TA and this helps. Glad to hear, bro. Is Monday's range based on the New York stock open, or is it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? That's a good fucking question. I believe it is Monday's entire candle, not the stock market open. It is Monday's entire candle. Right? So if you go on the daily chart, you take the low and the high on the Monday's candle. Because Monday's range is not something I use for stocks. It's something I use for Forex and crypto. So it's Monday's candle. Just would like to hear your feedback, but I know you talked about the weekly SFP. I have no idea what your question was. Will you be there? Will there be a real boxing match between Rookie and Loomdart? Yes, there will. Do breaker blocks need to be near key levels and have a strong reaction like other OBs? Yes, it's a type of order block, so all the rules apply. Making TA easy to follow. Appreciate the alpha. Thanks, bro. Hey, Mayne, don't forget to abuse BitBoy in every customary stream. Listen, even though I'm sick, I still hate BitBoy. I hate him. And I've never met him, but I dislike, hate's a strong word. I dislike him strongly. Yeah, my energy levels are super low, guys. I'm sorry. Basically, what you're saying is if you can find a candle and trade against that candle, it doesn't matter. I don't remember what I was saying when you made that comment. So, is DYDX due for a correction, or should it keep going? So I see a lot of people talking about this, and I think it's funny because we charted this, I think, last stream, and I nailed it. I remember charting this, DYDX. I think we looked on FTX, maybe. Fuck. Yeah, we crushed this one. So this, we were trading up here on the last stream. Last stream, September 19th. Okay, we were trading here. Where was it? Here. Okay. And everyone was asking me, what's going on with this chart? Everyone's talking about it. People are like, oh, you don't know what DYDX is? I was like, here, listen, I don't give a fuck. But if it hits $12, it's a buy. And you can see that was here. Go watch last stream. We were right here. I talked about this order block here, right? We had our previous resistance SR flip, and then we also had our order block form here. And yeah, wick through a couple of times, but you know, even just buying at that $12 area was money. And we have had a huge move off that level. So from that to where we are now, 60%. So we called this last stream. Go watch last stream. I talked about this exact setup playing out, and it did perfectly. So is it due for a correction? I don't know. Maybe it just made a new all-time high, right? So if I'm looking at this on the H4, if it comes anywhere to like down here, I'm probably buying it, right? Previous all-time highs right here, confluent with that H4 order block. So if it comes down here, probably a buy. What's a good strategy to add more to a winning trade? Buy pullbacks, right? If it's in an uptrend, you can buy pullbacks, add back amounts you've taken off, things like that. I don't do a ton of compounding because I don't hold trades for that long. So I'm never like, you know, like riding a trade for just fucking ever. But if you want, right, every time price makes a higher high, right, you can add more on the next pullback if you want, something like that. Are there Taco Bells in Canada? Yes, not many. We have Taco Bell and Taco Time. I don't understand how you feel bullish even when it looks really bad at the high time frame. I just don't look at the high time frame. I'm not really bullish or really bearish. We're at high time frame support, so I want to be a bull at support. It's as simple as that. We don't have to go to all-time high here. We could bounce 10% and then nuke again, but at high time frame support, I like to be a bull. When you say reclaim, what does that mean? You look at the hourly close before. It depends, right? If I'm looking at an H4 level, I want to see an H4 candle close there to consider the level broken or reclaimed, right? If it's a daily level, right? A daily level can have multiple hourly closes above it, and the daily can still close below it, right? So It's all relative to the time frame of the level. Why do you sometimes wait to touch the OB and sometimes you use Fibonacci to take a position? I always use the order block to take the position. The fib is just a measuring tool, and it just measures price retracements for you. Think of it like a measuring, like a measurer, or a ruler, excuse me. And I just find that those pullbacks happen between the 50 to the 7-9 retracement. I don't ever really use the fibs for my own entries. I'm using order blocks. I just show it because people like them. What's an order block? Go watch my YouTube video titled Order Blocks. Are you sidelined? No. Germany wants to ban mining. Fucking clowns. The likelihood of multiple BTC ETFs being approved in the next month from a macro perspective makes me maintain bullishness. If it does happen, then that leaves a lot of room for a lot of funds to enter the space. If it doesn't happen, then well. Yeah, so there you go. Does an order block only become bullish or bearish in hindsight? Absolutely not. Go watch my video on order blocks. Hello, thanks for the content. Last chance to buy ETH above 3K. Okay. Do you have to see a close before you confirm a reclaim of a level? Explain more. I already answered your question. I'm scared. I'm scared too. Yo, Mayne just got here. Was wondering if you knew anything about institutional grade clearinghouse project RVP will be launching in Q4 and what that would mean for BTC. I have no idea what that means, so I have no opinion on it. Future's looking good tomorrow. Instead of saying here, you could say numbers. Instead of leaving comments, you could fuck off. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, bro. I try my best to say the price levels as I'm going, but sometimes I forget. Your screen is hella grainy. Are you my dad? We already answered that. Absolutely not. High maintenance, I know. My bad. It's okay. I forgive you. Mate, open your chart and use your brain. You can see the level for yourself. Unmute. Thought this was a full service stream. This is a full service stream with a happy ending. For me, not for you. You could take a shower with vapor rub in a glass to breathe the emanation. I'm gonna have to look that up. Sounds interesting. What percentage of your net worth do you trade with? 100% on every single trade. Come on, dude. What kind of question is that? If I have a trading account on an exchange, I base my risk on the amount of money I have on that exchange, not on my total fucking net worth. Right? So my whole net worth is not in crypto. But yeah, if I have $100,000 on an exchange, I will risk anywhere from 1 to 5%, $1,000 to $5,000 per trade. Shout out to BitBoy. More like fuck you to BitBoy. My jokes are weak today, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank goodness it wasn't COVID. I was really worried. I started tripping myself out. I was like going around my house like sniffing fucking hot sauce and pickles and shit to make sure I could still smell and taste shit. But yeah, no COVID, thank goodness. All my homies dislike Shitboy very much. Why you hate BitBoy? Why don't you hate BitBoy is a better question. Hate isn't a strong enough word for BitBoy. Look at that W. Because he, BitBoy, Rapture, Princess Leia. Okay. Hello. I cashed out. Okay, good job, man. Could you analyze FTT? Sure. So, I mean, this looks like, you know, similar to Bitcoin in that, like, this is the perfect place to be a bull. Right? Made a huge break in market structure to the upside. Pull back to the order block that caused the break in market structure. This is where you want to be a bull. So if I had to guess, FTT, assuming the world doesn't implode, will trade at least up to $70 again. Up to here, 70. And then maybe higher, or maybe it dumps from here. I don't know. But this is where you want to be a bull. This is the 3-day order block that caused this move up, made a new all-time high on a first test of that level. I think you want to be a bull down there. If we lose this 3-day order block, I think we trade all the way back down into this range, 35. Okay. BitBoy is crazy hot as a girl. Obviously, we can agree on that, but we still hate him. Is he, though? Is he? Why do you love BitBoy? I don't love BitBoy. Come on, guys. You guys know that. I hate BitBoy with a passion. He's a paid shill. He doesn't actually know shit. He's been caught stealing content multiple times. He's leading sheep to the slaughter, man. I don't like that. I'm on here providing actionable alpha for y'all, and he's on here fucking shilling trash and getting paid heavily. I wonder if this short plays out. I'm also fat phobic. That's for my based and red pill followers. Mayne, when I draw my levels, weekly open and close, high and low important, or do only weekly high and low? Of course the weekly high and low is important, and so is the weekly open and close, right? For very different reasons. A lot of people struggle with this, right? Using those levels is just another way to find SR. You can use your eye and say, okay, this is a good SR level, right? You could be like, okay, this is a good SR level here, right? You could be like, ah, this looks like a good SR level because it's resistance, resistance, and then support, right? Or you could say, okay, well, actually, this is just this weekly high, right? Or, hey, maybe I'm going to use this weekly close, and that's my SR level. Like, it's just another way of finding SR, right? First step, find key levels. Those key levels can be found visibly by just saying, hey, there's been a ton of interaction at this level. Like maybe you're just like, hey, I really like this level on Ethereum because it looks like it's a good area here. Well, that also probably happens to be, a weekly high. There you go. That weekly open is that pretty much same level, right? So it's just about finding key levels. And using weekly highs and lows or weekly opens and closes are ways to find key levels. The other advantage is using something like the weekly open. So if this is your weekly open, if early in the week we're trading below the weekly open, and then maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday we reclaim it, there's a good chance that the low of the week is in. Now you have a risk-defined setup saying, okay, I expect the rest of the week to be bullish. So if you're a scalper, you're looking for longs the rest of the week. If you're a swing trader, you're looking to get long and hold it through the week, whatever, right? So you can use it for that as well. And that exact strategy works on the daily open too. And on the any open, the yearly open, it can work on any open. Right here, look at the yearly open on Ethereum. Right? That's the yearly open right there. Once we traded below it very briefly, and then once we were above it, I mean, this is a bad example because it fucking just launched. Let's do like US CAD. Let's see if we can get the yearly open here for 2021. 2021 was a weird year for everything. Okay, so there's the yearly open. Early in the year, we're trading above the yearly open. And then look what happened. We got below the yearly open. And there's a good chance that this is the high of the year right here. Well, almost. Most of the year, right? But we traded down significantly after getting below the yearly open. And if we get above the yearly open here, if we get back above this and hold, then there's a good chance that low is going to be in for a while. But you can just see how that one level is very clear SR. Deviate above, retest, sell off, deviate above, retest, sell off. So it's clear SR level. Ow, that fucking hurt. Where can I request an altcoin? I usually make a tweet when I'm recording an altcoin video. You can leave it under there. Or if you want me to look at one right now, you can ask, do you have a video on SFPs? No, I do not. Was the ITC mentorship good? Does he offer it anymore? I feel like I'd get a ton out of having a mentor. It was good, but I feel like it was too much information, way more than necessary. Can you pin that leverage quote of yours? I don't know how to pin anything, so no. Take a spoonful of honey. That should heal you up. I'll try that. Hot olive oil, rub it around the neck. Grandma's cure for sickness. Okay, I'll try that. Bowdy46, Mayne, I love you. I love you, bro. Thank you. Mayne, huge Pip-Boy fan. Why are you spreading these lies, Dan? Why are you spreading these lies? Pip-Boy's got way more alpha than Mayne. Who's a mod? Ban this man immediately. Big up, pickle sniffing. You saved my ass and I shorted for 125% on Axis. Nice. Okay, can't care less. Okay, can I think I love you from Canada, Mr. India. Okay. I think I'm going to start wrapping up the video here. So I'll do a couple more altcoin requests, guys, and then I'm going to fucking die. Habar, sure. People love this fucking coins. Probably because Credible Crypto's always fucking tweeting about it, eh? Hedera hash graph. Hedera. Sorry. I'm like hyper, but I'm also dead. Yeah, so I wanted to see, actually last week, I think we looked at this coin. I wanted to see it hold here. You know, so I don't necessarily love that it broke below this, because this is kind of your all-time high retest, right? And it broke below. And you can see it's rejecting off the underside of this now. You know, so I don't love that. I much would have rather it held there. You know, I think if it comes down into here, though, I'd be a buyer. So 23 to 28 cents, I think I'd be a buyer if it gives, or on a reclaim of this block, right? So either here or on a reclaim of this. So this is 35 to 38, or a little bit lower. That would be the areas of interest for me for Habar. I forgot the Bybit logo. Oh, fuck. Sorry, Bybit overlords. Please don't fire me. What do you suggest for small accounts that are full-time and have a hard time tracking many alts and coins? Anything that you do with a small account is no different than what you do for a big account. The main difference is between a small account and a big account is when your account gets bigger, the way that you enter trades will change. Like if you're swinging some serious big dick size, you're not just market entering, you know, massive trades, right? Sometimes you got to iceberg in, you got to fucking layer in, you got different ways that you can kind of get in and out of positions without completely nuking the books, especially when you're trading, you know, altcoins that might not be as liquid. And then there's the mental side of it, right? Where when you're risking 2% a trade, you know, on $1,000 account, it's $2. On a $100,000 account, all of a sudden it's $2,000, right? On $1 million account, all of a sudden it's 20 grand, you know? So mentally, you have to kind of compete with that and realize that it's just 2%. You can't be like, oh fuck, 20 grand, that's so much money. It's 2%, right? So you have to build those habits on the small account so when it becomes bigger, you're not phased. But everything that you do on the small account's no different. For me, I have a very hard time keeping up with crypto. It's so fast paced. There's so much going on. New coins, blah, 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 blah. I have a very hard time keeping up with it. So I focus the majority of my trading on Bitcoin and Ethereum. 90% of the trades I take are Bitcoin on Ethereum, and then I'll trade other large caps. But to keep track of stuff, I've got friends. I'm in Discords with buddies who are telling me about coins that might look good. Create watch lists, set some time aside each day to go through and look at what the biggest movers are. Look if any coins have made, you know, new all-time highs or shit like that. Just put in the work. Do your homework right before trading starts. Spend a few hours the night before, you know, making that watch list for the next day. But most of the trades I take are primarily on Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's just me. You got to remember the market is very highly correlated, right? So if everything is going up, you know, if Bitcoin and ETH are going up, most shit's going up. Are there going to be periods of decorrelation and where things are outperforming? Of course. And you can try and play that game of musical chairs of trying to catch all of the big movers, but you never will, right? And so you're going to see people tweet out every coin that moves crazy. I'm telling you, not everyone is fucking catching every single move. You never will, so stop thinking like that. How do you keep up with trades? A notebook sucks. Any software? I've done a ton of different things. I've had an Excel spreadsheet. I've used EdgeWonk, which is like quite sophisticated trade journaling software. I've just created my own Discord with just me in it, where I'm posting charts and trade ideas. Excel works pretty well for me. I have like an Excel document that tracks, you know, I just put in all of my shit in there, but I don't journal nearly as much as I used to. I used to journal every single trade. I don't do that anymore. Tips for growing a small account. Use leverage on higher probability trades. Leverage is irrelevant, guys, right? Leverage is irrelevant. Leverage just allows you to put up less margin to open up a trade. Just because you have leverage doesn't mean you should be trading more than you have, right? I don't take many trades bigger than 5x leverage. Like sometimes I'll use 10x, but very rare. Usually it's anywhere between 1 and 5x. And leverage just determines the amount of margin you have to put up to open the trade. So if you have a $1,000 account and you use 10x leverage, you can open up a $10,000 trade. But that also means you have the risk of getting liquidated, right? So don't think of leverage as a way to trade more than you have. I mean, you can degen it with leverage, sure, but that's super risky. You want to build up your account, find a strategy that allows you to win bigger than you lose. You don't have to win more than you lose, but if you're aiming for a 2-to-1 risk reward, you only have to win 33% of your trades to break even. So if you can win 40% of your trades with a 2-to-1 risk reward, you will grow your account quickly. So it's just math, right? It's just math. So it's no different growing a small, like unless you're trying to just degen an account, do one of those like 500 to 100K challenges or whatever, where it's like, okay, on your first trade, you're risking the entire account, right? And on your second trade, you're risking the entire account again, or 50% of the account. I mean, if you're trying to do one of those degen things, sure, but know what that is. That's very risky, degenerate type of trading. That's not something that is consistent and profitable over the long term. All right, I'll take a few more altcoin requests here. Let's look at FTM. I know that one was moving. Looks very similar to FTT or to Hedera here. But yeah, new all-time high, obviously. Pretty clean retest there, wouldn't you say? All-time high retest. Very nice bounce. Came right into that daily order block as well. So there's your daily bullish order block that caused the break in market structure. There's your significant SR, previous all-time high. Very nice fucking bounce. You know, we're coming into resistance here. So I think if this thing is going to bounce, right, you want to see it hold the dollar. Hold $1. I don't want to see it go below that previous all-time high. Maybe it comes and gives us a double bottom, triple bottom, whatever. But I'd want to see it hold $1 for continuation to the upside. XTZ, por favor. Excuse me. Fucking tired, boys. I'm unwell. Yeah, I don't know. This chart's ugly. Here's what I'd say. I'd say this is your range of interest. I think you're a buyer in the lower part of this range. Like back into here. if it comes. Because yeah, this looks like a lower high here, but this is a break in market structure on the H12 here, right? So it made a lower low, but now it's made a higher high. So I would be looking for longs on this on a pullback. It is into some support right here. I don't love that wick, so I'd probably ignore it. You know, around $6 here, this order block, if it catches a bid, I think is a buy, or lower down into here around, you know, 525. I'd be looking to buy the dip on this one because it does look like this is higher low, higher high, higher low, and then this could just be a higher high coming here, right? H12 is bullish, so I would say long the dip into either this order block or down into here. Adam, please. You said please, so I will look. Yeah, we charted this, I think, last week. Right? This is the exact same setup as FTM. Exact same, right? Previous all-time high. Daily bullish order block. Right? Was the setup. Look at Adam. Exact same setup here. Previous all-time high. Daily bullish order block. Boom. Right? So very strong reaction off there. Made a new all-time high. This was an SFP, I guess. So technically, excuse me, you'd want to see it get above here for, you know, obviously much higher prices. But yeah, this is just kind of range bound for now between, you know, 32 and 45. It's just a big range. So want to see it clear above here, I think, before you get really excited. I would wait for it to get above this to long, or I'd wait for it to come back down to 32 and test this order block. 32 down to about 30. All right, I'm gonna do. This guy says Adam BTC shows a long-term breakout. Let's see if you're lying. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, that's a beautiful, good eye there, bro. You know, we've got a nice higher high that's formed here on the BTC chart. We are into resistance here. Right, but this is a big breakout. This has basically been going sideways for years. And this is a first higher high in a long time. So I would venture to say any sort of pullback into here, you want to see a bid get caught, you know, back into that previous high here. So this looks good. Adam looks good. I like. Monero for the privacy bros. Yeah. So again, right, we have weekly bull block here. Broke market structure, just barely. You want to be a bull here. I reckon Monero probably gets a bounce at least up into 256, and then ideally higher up towards 290. Assuming this low holds, that's what I'd be looking for. And we're getting some decent price action here on the H12. Right? Low, high, looks like a higher low with a swing failure pattern. Right? So this looks like, to me, here's your H12 setup right here. This looks to me like a decent long right now. You could enter this here, stop there, right? Target 1 probably here. Target 2. Probably here. Something like that. Assuming that SFP holds, you could have a looser stop as well. If you wanted, you could put your stop below here. But that SFP looks like that should be the low. So this could be a decent little long right here. AVAX. So yeah, AVAX, I fucking crushed this one. I posted this on Twitter way back here. I said this thing's going to fucking at least 60. I'm still bullish on this thing, man. Right? We're consolidating above the previous all-time high. I think we're going to like 90 on this thing. I think this is just getting started. So still bullish on AVAX on the high time frame. Looking at the 12-hour, is that a swing failure pattern? Not quite, but this is what you want to see hold here, right? Assuming we hold this, long it for higher. You look on the lower time frame, what do we have here? Got a nice little breaker setup potentially forming here on the H1. Low, higher low. So potentially starting to show some bullishness where you want to see it show bullishness. So within that 12-hour order block, right, we've got our H1 putting in a higher low here. So again, you could technically long this, you know, to a new all-time high from like right here. Personally, I would wait. Just not interested in taking a trade right now. Not mentally 100% there, but this looks like a decent long right now. H1 confluent with the H12, little breaker block, order block action. Looks okay. Luna. I don't remember. I mean, what I see, what jumps out at me right away is this. Like this kind of rejection that we're seeing here. This is what jumps out at me. Seems like a pretty clean rejection. So if I had to guess, I mean, could we hold here? Sure. But this just jumps out at me as like a clear lower high. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I don't really see a long where we are right now. I think above 40.50 you could long, so get above the 7.9. Otherwise, I think down here around 28 to 26 is where I'd buy the dip on Luna personally. We could go up from right here. I don't know, but I just don't see a clear setup for me personally. I'd want to see a reclaim of the 7.9 or a deeper pullback. All right. I think I'm going to call it here, guys. I'm fucking very sick and very tired. I appreciate you guys bearing with me. I know this was a little bit of a more low energy stream than usual. I promise I'll be healthy again and back at it hopefully soon. I will have an altcoin video coming up this week as well. So excited about that. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with me here on a rainy Sunday here in my part of the world. I'm going to go get back in bed, fucking cover myself head to toe in Vicks Vapor Rub, and eat soup. So if you got any questions, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave some likes and comments. Press the notification bell on Twitter so you know when I'm uploading new videos. You know, retweet the tweets, all that stuff. It really helps me out, really trying to grow on YouTube here. And so I appreciate you guys. We're over 20K subs now, which is incredible. Never thought that would happen. So thank you so much. I will have the condensed version of the stream up sometime tomorrow, as well as the timestamps for this stream up tomorrow as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you all soon. Love you so much. Fuck you, BitBoy. And I will talk to you guys later.